I am Mark Lowry, and I am from Atlanta, Georgia right now. That's where I live. I have been traveling the past few years with Bill Gaither, and it's incredible to get to travel with someone who is in the hymnal. It's either Bill Gaither or Fanny Crosby, you know, and Fanny doesn't get out much these days, so I'm traveling with Bill because Fanny's dead. And when Bill Gaither called me and asked me if I'd like to travel with him and join the Gaither vocal band, I started thinking about all the people who got their start traveling with Bill. See, Steve Green got his start traveling with Bill Gaither. Sandy Patty got her start. Sandy Patty got her start traveling with Bill Gaither. Carmen got his start traveling with Bill Gaither. Larnell Harris got his start traveling with Bill Gaither. I think George Beverly Shea got his start, I think, traveling with Bill Gaither. And I started thinking about all these people getting their start traveling with Bill Gaither, and he asked me if I'd like to travel with him. I said, does Billy Graham have a quiet time? I'll be there, baby. Because see, Gary McSpadden left after being with him for 12 years, and they needed someone as good-looking as Gary. And I was the obvious choice. I got me a chin implant. And it's incredible, because see what Bill does when he discovers you, in case he ever comes to Minnesota and discovers one of y'all, what he does, he finds your hidden talent. I'm not kidding you. Like, for instance, when he found Sandy Patty, she was a bass. Bill said, you know, if you hit a few high notes, you might really go somewhere. When he found Larnell Harris, he was white. When Bill found me, I was hyperactive. And man, I'm telling you, I was so thrilled and excited because I'd sung his songs all my life growing up in Texas. You know, I'd sung He Touched Me. In fact, I did an album when I was 9 with the title song of the album was called He Touched Me. And I'd sung The King Is Coming in church. And I'd sung Joy Comes in the Morning. And he called me and asked me if I'd like to join his group. And I got on the bus after I joined the group. You know, we have a bus we travel in. And I'd catch myself sometimes just staring at him, thinking, man, this guy must be perfect. He wrote all those great songs. And I'd just stare at him and think, man, there's perfect Bill Gaither. I'd look at his hands and think, there's perfect Bill Gaither's perfect hands. The first hands to ever pen the words to He Touched Me. I'd look at his ears and think, there's perfect Bill Gaither's perfect ears. The first ears to ever hear the words to There's Just Something About That Name. I'd look at his lips and think, there's perfect Bill Gaither's perfect lips. The first lips to ever speak the words to The King Is Coming. And one night, I was sleeping in the back of the bus. There are bunks in our bus. You got to understand, that's where we sleep most of the time. And Bill and Gloria have 2 beds in the back of the bus, in a room, 2 beds, sort of like a Ricky and Lucy kind of thing happening back there. And Gloria wasn't on this trip, so I was in one bed and Bill was in the other bed. And that's the way we like it. And he sleeps with about 10 or 15 pillows piled everywhere, y'all. He has them piled. I looked over there about 2 in the morning, we hit a bump. I looked over there, and there's this big pile of pillows with Bill's nose peeking up through them. Actually, it wasn't peeking. It was standing boldly, proudly up through the pillows. And I just started staring at his nose. I started thinking, man, there's perfect Bill Gaither's perfect nose. The notes that's been forming his high notes for over 40 years now. And y'all, while I was staring at perfect Bill Gaither's perfect nose, that thing let me down. It started snoring. First, it was perfect little snorts, nothing that would tarnish his image. It kind of. I thought, well, you know, you can be perfect and go. But it didn't stop there. It elevated the sound of a freight train hitting a bridge at 70 miles an hour. It didn't stop there. It elevated the sound of a 747 trying to find a seat at the Crystal Cathedral from 30,000 feet. All of a sudden, that head shot straight up, started spinning around the room. Green stuff started flying around the room. No, I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. But he isn't perfect. I found out that night Bill Gaither isn't perfect. And people have been blessed by his songs. They have been blessed by Because He Lives. They have been moved by There's Something About That Name. But when the king does come, they better hope Bill isn't asleep. Because we'll never hear Gabriel blowing his horn if Bill's blowing his.